Hey folks, I wanted to talk a bit about Oakwynd today. When it was released, there were four defining server characteristics. The first was the introduction of encounter locking. That's been generally okay for group content. It's reduced training a bit, and it's been a complete mess that will only continue to get worse for open world raiding. I did quite a lot of testing recently on that for upcoming expansions, which you can check out on the channel elsewhere. Second, there's evolving bonuses that the server gets as expansions unlock. They start off pretty small, like 25% bonus loot or faction, and they scale up through time. The first regular experience boost doesn't happen until Seeds of Destruction, and is only 25%, for example. That'll make the server really good after about 2 years or so. Third, there's lots of bots. So if you want to use MacroQuest and go full-on beat boot mode, we should just at this point assume it's allowed, if not encouraged. Okay, I say that in jest, but seriously, just walk over to West Freeport or Siren's Grotto sometime and check out what's going on, if you want a full picture of the story. Finally, and this is what I want to talk about, is legacy characters. How these work is that you get a 10% experience bonus for each max level character you have in the same account. When it was first announced, people were quick to note that alts isn't really a thing on TLPs, and people box instead. The devs adjusted the original offering by making items that are free trade on free trade servers heirloom here, and making DZ lockouts tune instead of account specific, which were welcome changes. So those legacy characters have basically been used in one way currently, which is to run mirror raids. That is, swapping all the gear from identical classes and then doing another instance. That's worked out pretty well so far in Velius, and for example, here you can see one of the major guilds on the server really did a lot of DZs with those mirror characters to get Sleeper's tomb keys more quickly. However, there's going to be a big problem going forward with those characters, which that it's progressively more and more effort to maintain them. For example, just in Luckland, you're going to need between 200 and 400 AAs to be raid effective depending on class. That's a lot, and not like you can just show up with those freshly leveled tunes like you could in Velius. So, what can the devs do to help promote the legacy character system? Well, here's 5 things that would dramatically help the concept going forward. Number 5. Increase the experience bonus per max level character. Right now it's set at 10% for every character that you have that's max level. So you might be thinking, great, if I have another tune I can AA even faster. Well, not so fast, it turns out. I was just messing around a bit, checking the regular versus AA experience per kill on a level 62 mage, and let's use 1% per kill regular experience and 20% AA experience per kill as an example. So in order to max your character 5 levels to get another bonus, that's about 500 kills, again just taking an average, which means you lost out on getting 100 AAs you could have otherwise been getting. Well, in order for the 10% bonus to be net beneficial, you need to then do more than 1,000 AAs. That ratio only gets worse and worse with expansions as regular EXP gets slower. So from the perspective of just giving your main character a boost, you can see it's just never going to be net beneficial if you're using the legacy character as that kind of enhancer. Maybe changing this to around 50% or so would be a bit juicier and better foster the rule set going forward. Number 4, make epics heirloom. While most gear has been made heirloom, which was a great change, there's still no trade items out there. Epics are probably the number one that comes to mind. And while a lot of the 1.0 epics are hardly groundbreaking, the one that's really comes to mind is the Cleric Epic 1.0, especially if you're in Fight to Engage trying to do open world content like Koidoken. A lot of classes really need their 2.0s in a few expansions. Shamans, melee DPS, clerics again. Lots of classes just need those to be raid ready. And it's an unnecessary bottleneck to make you have to repeat the quest multiple times to have your legacy character be able to attend raids and perform well. Number 3, make the bonus experience active for toons at the previous unlock max level. Remember, the legacy character bonus is only active for max level characters. This means when you really need it, when there's a new expansion unlock and you need to do some old-fashioned grinding, it'll go away. There's a simple fix here which would improve quality of life for this legacy system, which is to make the bonus effective from the most recent level cap. So for example, for Planes of Power release, make it based on your level 60 characters. Now that's something the players would find useful. Number 2, make earned AAs available on all toons on the same account. Now we're getting to the heart of the problem, which is that if you really want to use those characters for raids, it becomes harder and harder to keep them up to date. And one of the biggest factors here is simply the amount of AAs you need to get. When you start a couple years into the server and getting to expansions where you need 1,000 plus AAs in each expansion to stay raid relevant on a toon, it's going to be super challenging to keep a secondary raid force up to date. I know it's possible, and many people keep boxes up to date like that so they can run small man raids on other servers, but a true legacy concept should have the characters just inheriting the AA pool of each other and being able to use that. Number 1, have the option to merge keys, flags, achievements, and faction. This is very similar to the last one, but let me just ask some simple questions. Do you want to endlessly farm those stupid Dragons of Norath missions for 20 faction chips to turn in so you can get the faction needed to get the account rewards for progression? Or do you want to do all the zone progressions starting in Underfoot so you can even zone into the good experience areas? And that's not even getting to the raids, which are going to be a major pain keying multiple times like that, especially for the expansions that only last 8 weeks. Okay, well that's my 5 ideas that could make this concept more palatable and something that isn't just going to fizzle out like a lot of TLPs have in the past. If you have any more ideas, definitely leave a comment. And good luck out there, everyone.